if you're short on time, but you still want to make and sew some beautiful handmade gifts for your friends and family and loved ones, then this video is definitely for you. All 5 projects are beautiful, wonderful handmade gifts that people will definitely appreciate, and they fall within 10 minutes in the making to about a couple hours in the making. So definitely, depending on how short on time you are, you will find what you're looking for in this video. And bonus is that majority of these materials you already have on hand, so you don't have to buy anything extra. So without any further ado, let's jump right into it. So for our first project, you will need just 2 simple things. You will need some beautiful fabric remnants. Take out your fabric scraps, girl. I know you have them. I know you've been saving them up for some beautiful special occasion. This is that occasion. So take out your beautiful fabric scraps. Doesn't matter whether they're stretchy or not. Either one will do. You'll just need to make sure that they are medium weight. I wouldn't really go for lightweight materials, and I'll tell you why in a second. And then you will need some hair elastic. And you can also use just a regular elastic that you already might have in your sewing room. So either one will do. And a rule of thumb that I am using is you take your elastic, you measure how long it is, and then you use double the length of that for your scrunchies. And that's what we're going to be making right now. So double the length of that. And for the width, I took 4.5 inches, but it just really depends on you. What size of a scrunchie do you want it to be? And the reason why we're going for medium weight material is because it holds shape so beautifully. If it's too lightweight, it's just going to be a little floppy. Also, you're going to be wearing it in your hair, so it might tear if it's a really lightweight. And then I should tell you guys, there's so many ways how to make a scrunchie. This is the way I make a scrunchie, and I find it super easy, super straightforward, but you can make them however you want it. So first thing is, you're gonna take your fabric scrap, you're gonna sew the short edge together. So you're gonna put it right sides together, and then you're gonna sew this little piece right over here. Now you sew it, and then after that, super easy. You take your little hair elastic, and then you're gonna thread it through like this. Kind of looks like a little bow, you know, like this. And then you put these sides together, the long sides together, and then you tuck in the raw edges to the inside. And then with a straight stitch close to the edge, bam, all around, and that's it. You are done, literally. To make it really beautiful and really stand out as a set, as something that you've put some thought and some creativity into, I would go for coordinating fabrics, and then you can really arrange it beautifully like this and on a little piece of cardstock, and your gift is ready. This next last minute gift to sew idea, I know your friends and family are gonna love, because you guys loved this idea last year, because I released this free sewing pattern for a modern scarf last year, and I saw so many Instagram posts and pictures on Facebook and other social media where you guys posted that you either made them for yourself or as gifts. So it's tried and true, I should say by now. It's a free sewing pattern, and it comes together in about 30 minutes. You will need medium weight fabric, preferably that would be faux fur or maybe some sherpa or something that has quite a bit of texture, because you want it to be nice and snug around your neck. And all it is really, it's either 4 parts or 2 parts, which, you know, if it's just 2 parts, depending on if your fabric has a nap or it doesn't have a nap. A nap just means which way does the actual hair of the fabric go, in case if you're using sherpa or maybe some faux fur. And if your fabric doesn't have a nap, then you just literally, you cut 2 pieces of the pattern, you sew it all around, and then you make 2 little openings where the actual scarf will be turned inside out, and then that opening you stitch by hand or by sewing machine or serger if you have, and then that's it. It's done. It's so easy. I will leave the pattern link and also the instructional video in the info box below, so that way if you want to make it, you can make it. And yeah, it makes a beautiful gift. I made some of these last year and people loved it. For this next last minute DIY gift idea to sew, you can go as simple or as intricate as you would like to go. You can also do it either by hand or on a sewing machine. You can use felt or you can use fabric. You can make one or you can make a little series of them, whatever you would like to do, because we're talking about making some beautiful Christmas ornaments. And these are also very sentimental pieces and something that I know people are going to keep year after year, and they will be putting this on their Christmas tree. So that, you know, really warms my heart. I know that people will definitely definitely appreciate it. And I do have a tradition of making a handmade Christmas ornament every year. So my Christmas tree looks definitely, you know, very sentimental in my eyes for sure. Now, this comes together very quickly, and I've used fabric and I used felt. The golden hearts are made with fabric, the gingerbread house and the red heart made out of felt. Now, as I said, you can use either a sewing machine or you can do it by hand, whichever way you prefer. All you have to do is just decide on a shape, cut out the shape, and then just let your creativity loose. So for the red heart, I cut different sizes of hearts because then I made a straight stitch down the middle of all of these hearts combined together. So that way it would, you know, create the little pop-up hearts, you know, if I may say so. And then I stitched the heart all around, leaving a small little opening where I stuffed it with a little shredded remnants of fabric that I had to give it a little bit of a shape. And after that, I used a little bit of glitter glue to give it some extra sparkle. And then you just need to figure out how to package it. I opted for a little piece of cardstock where I punched 2 holes so that way I can thread it through. And that's it. It's basically done. I did this one by hand, but as I said, you can also use a sewing machine for that as well. And yeah, you can make a series. You can do it just one by one. And if you are a member of this channel, then you do have a template for that gingerbread house ornament. And it also tells you step by step how to do it as well. So do check it out in the description box below if you want to join the channel. And other than that, make some ornaments. Now, this last minute DIY sewing gift idea is definitely very versatile. And you can also spice it up a little bit by using different fabrics. You can use one fabric and maybe use some Sharpies to decorate that. You can go big, you can go small, different shapes and sizes. I mean, let your creativity loose if you have a little bit of time for that. Now, I'm going to be using this gorgeous palm leaf print fabric that I used to make some pillow covers a little while ago, and I just have enough. And it's also really beautiful and very sturdy because it's an outdoor decorating fabric, which is perfect for this project because we're going to be making a tote bag. And again, you can make it any size you want for any purpose that you want. This one is going to be for groceries, and I'm going to be sending it to my other grandmother as a beautiful handmade Christmas gift. Now, it will take you about 40 minutes to an hour depending on how quick you are and how familiar you are with sewing techniques. And again, there are so many ways that you can make a tote bag. I mean, you name it, from very simple to more complicated and lined ones. This is going to be very simple. You're just going to take your fabric and you just want to make sure that it's either a square or rectangle or whatever size you want it to be. And then you will need 2 pieces for your handles as well. Now, what you want to do at first, you want to sew the whole bag from one side to the other, leaving the top open because obviously the top is going to be our opening. Now, once that is done, we will form the corners. And you can skip this part if you want your tote just to be a square or rectangle, whichever way you prefer. But I want my tote to have flat bottom, and that's what's going to give me that flat bottom by making those little triangles on the bottom of the tote. Now, once that is done, we will need to attach our handles. And before we do that, we need to put our handles together. Again, you can sew them right sides together first and then you flip them inside out. You can do it many other ways. The way I do it, I do a straight stitch on one edge of the fabric, and then I tuck the raw edges on the inside, and then I do another straight stitch. That way I don't have to fiddle around with turning it inside out. It's a lot easier for me, but you guys do whichever way you prefer. And then you just attach the handles. Easy as that. I do it this way where I fold the top on the inside and I tuck in the handles in. I find that it's more sturdier that way. It also doesn't leave any exposed raw edges, and I do feel that it makes it a little bit easier instead of, you know, fiddling with each of the handles separately. And then I do 2 straight stitches, one on the top and one on the bottom of my top edge, and that's it. It's done, and the beautiful handmade gift is ready to go to its lucky recipient. Now Now this next project, it's gorgeous, and I made it for my sister-in-law, and she said it was nice and warm and it looked pretty too. Now it will take you a couple hours. This is the lengthiest out of all of these projects. However, it is no-sew, so no sewing is involved, but you will probably need to stop by the shop because you probably don't have 2 cuts by 2 yards of fleece laying around. But if you do, lucky you, because we are going to be making no-sew fleece blanket. It's super gorgeous and it's super easy, but it will take you a little bit of time because we will be tying the knots. And the idea is very straightforward. You lay 2 pieces of fleece together, and then you cut the corners, and then you fringe it. And once the fringe is done, you tie each piece of the fringe in a little knot, and you can also experiment with the knots however you want it. There's so many ways how to do it. So just have fun with it. And once you're done with all of the tying, that's it. The blanket is done. And if you need more detailed tutorial, it will be in the info box below, just like with any other DIY gifts that we discussed today. And happy holidays, my dear sewing friends. Stay safe, stay healthy, be with your families, share the love. And if you want more gift ideas, then check out these videos right over here. But until next time, happy sewing. Bye.